Hey, what's up? Good evening, good afternoon to all you WWE, all you wrestling fans. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming, and I'm here to give all of you today my wrestling history, my wrestling birthdays, my pop culture and sports for today, Saturday, June the 11th, 2022. So here goes. It's 11:03 right now, so here goes. Today, a little calculator. Hold on 1 second. Today's a happy 34th birthday to AEW's Hikaru Shida. Um, she's my favorite wrestler. I love Hikaru Shida. She's she was born the same year as me. She's my crush. Very sexy and very beautiful. Hikaru Shida is. Today is also the happy 40th birthday to Chris Candido, the younger brother of the late Chris Candido, especially on the ring that name Johnny Candido. And today is also the 42nd birthday of Stephen Alton Rano, Rena's ring Sinai Von Doom. And today is also a happy 43rd birthday to Naoshi Sano, Japanese wrestler. Today is also a happy 46th birthday to Japanese wrestler Neo Noko no Sano San wait, I pronounce that Sak Sanoko Kato, Japanese pro wrestler. That's it. Female. She's a female Japanese pro wrestler. Let's see. Today is also. I'll do my little arithmetic here. Today is also the happy 47th birthday to CG Ikeda, better known by his ring name Mashi Ikeda, Japanese pro wrestler. Okay, so now let's see. 1 second. Today is also a happy 53rd birthday to Satoru Shiga, Japanese pro wrestler, best known for his big time Big Japan pro wrestler and ring name Shadow WX. And today is also a happy 55th birthday to King Kayada, Japanese pro wrestler. And today is also a happy 57th birthday to Domingo Fuentes Daniel, better known by his ring name Masquerita Sagrada Original. And today is also a happy 59th birthday to Mike Enos. He's a retired pro wrestler who wrestled mainly as a tag team wrestler in WCW and the AWA and the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE World Wrestling Entertainment between 1989 and 2000. It's part of the better known by his rename Blake Blake Beverly of the Beverly Brothers in WWE. And today is also a happy 63rd birthday to Terry Wayne Allen, better known by his rename Magnum TA. Today would have been the happy 68th birthday of Li Wang Pao, better known by his ring name Super Dragon. She was a um he was a South Korean pro wrestler and martial artist. And today would have been a happy 96th birthday to Edmund Charles Ed Francis, who was a pro wrestler and pro wrestling promoter in Hawaii in 1960s. Many wrestlers who came he died on November 18th, 2016. Many wrestlers who came through Hawaii in the 1960s and 1970s were bound to come across from the name Ed Francis. That's his ring name, Ed Francis. However, the glory days of territorial wrestling were coming to an end, and in 1979 he sold the 50th big state time wrestling promotion to High Chief, the late great High Chief Peter Maivia, The Rock's late grandfather. God rest his soul, and God rest Ed Francis, who was 96 today. He died on November 11th, 2016. Now let's go to some today's wrestling history. Let's see. Today's wrestling history. On this day in 1942 in Newark, New Jersey, Delaware Garden, Paul Boyach defeated Rudy Dusek. Milo Sternberg defeated Tony Milano. Hans Kempfer and Abe Ewers fought in a draw. Michelle Leone defeated Al Norcus. George Buckman defeated John Vansky. On this day in 1962 in Trenton, New Jersey, Bobo Brazil and Sohi Baba fought in a DQ disqualification. On this day in 1972, promoted by the AWA, the American Wrestling Association, on Minneapolis television, Nick Botwinkle and Ray Stevens defeated Kenny J and Julio Rodriguez. Ivan Koloff defeated Rick Ferrara. Billy Robinson defeated Rodeo Jones. Ramon Torres defeated Jose Quintero. And the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, you know how it is, defeated Treach Phillips. On this day in 1972, from my AWA, the American Wrestling Association in Green Bay, Wisconsin, at the Browns County Veterans Memorial Arena, Wahoo McDaniel defeated the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Billy Robinson and Ivan Koloff fought in a draw. Bull Belinsky defeated Big K. Chris Markoff defeated Sailor Art Thomas. George Kadowski defeated Kenny J. On this day in 1982 in Houston, Texas, AWA champion Nick Botwinkle versus the Junkyard Dog. And on this day in 1982, promoted the World Wrestling Federation on WWE World Wrestling Entertainment in Jersey City, New Jersey, City College, Pete Sanchez defeated Jerry Gunn. Tony Gurria defeated Johnny Ross. Special Delivery Jones defeated J.J. Dillon. And WWE Women's Champion, the Fabulous Moolah and Sensational Sherry defeated Judy Martin and Penny Mitchell. And God rest their souls, Moolah and Sherry Martel. Ivan Putski fought Jimmy Superfly Snuka to a double disqualification. Tony Atlas fought Bob Orton Jr. to a draw. And on this day in 1982, promoted by the World Wrestling Federation on WWE World Wrestling Entertainment in Burlington, Connecticut, Rick McGraw defeated Charlie Fulton via disqualification, and Steve Travis fought Sweet Hansen to a draw. Blackjack Mulligan defeated Lawrence Sochi, and the Strongbow Boys defeated Adrian Adonis and Greg Hammer Valentine, and Andre John defeated Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales, and Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales defeated WWE Tag Team Champions Mr. Fuji and Mr. Sayo via disqualification. On this day in 1982, in Charleston, West Virginia, Jerry Briscoe was a promoter in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Jerry Briscoe versus Tom Pritchard, brother that piece of shit. Bruce Pritchard, brother love. I love you. Brother Sawyer versus Kelvin Sullivan. Johnny Studd versus Leroy Brown. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Mr. Wrestling 2nd versus the Masked Superstar and the Super Destroyer, and Ric Flair versus Tommy Rich. On this day in 1992 in San Diego, California, the sports arena, over 3,600 were in attendance from the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE World's Wrestlers Entertainment. Crush defeated Skinner. The Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich defeated Kato. The Nasty Boys Nobbins and Sags defeated the High Energy Owen Hart and the Birdman Coco Beware. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Papa Shango via disqualification. The Mountie defeated Sergeant Slaughter via countout. Intercontinental Champion Bret the Hitman Hart defeated the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. In the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors defeated the Beverly Brothers, Blake and Bo. On this day in 1992, at the PNE Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, promoted the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. The El Matador Tito Santana versus Barry Horowitz for Colonel Mustafa, who we know as the Iron Sheik. Native American Tatanka versus Rick the Mile Martel. The British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith versus the Repo Man. WWE Tag Team Champions the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And IRS we know as Money Incorporated defeat versus the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. The Undertaker versus the Berserker. And WWE Champion the Macho Man Randy Savage, versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! No results available. I don't know who won. Now, on this day in 2012, on Monday Night Raw, part of their Super Show. This is the GOAT. All right, this was in Harvard, Connecticut, at the XL Center, and 9,000 were in attendance. This was the Go Home show to No Way Out 2012. This was a 3-hour episode and featured an opening and in-ring promo by People Power John Laryngitis, in which he was quickly interrupted by Vince McMahon. McMahon said there was, for Laurinaitis' evaluation question why he shouldn't fire Laurinaitis. Laryngitis responded that Raw was approaching its 100th episode before correcting himself to say 1,000th. And he said he implemented people power as Laryngitis compared himself to Mr. McMahon. The crowd chanted, "Fire Johnny." McMahon brought up Laryngitis' handling Brock Lesnar's contract, hiring the wrong-legged wrestler, and Reese DeReese and re-signing the Big Show into a huge bonus after the show having lived up to billing since 1999. After McMahon responded to more of Laryngitis' claims, World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus walked out and insulted Laryngitis before McMahon noted "Fire Johnny" was the number one trend worldwide on Twitter. Sheamus went on to say Laryngitis should be fired, with Laryngitis saying he would find an opponent for Sheamus to face for talking him the way he did. Man followed by saying Laryngitis' opponent better be good, and the show better be good, or Laryngitis will be fired. Laryngitis then left ringside, with McMahon driving up to the ramp in Laryngitis' scooter before pushing it off the stage. Included a backstage segment with Laryngitis, McMahon, Teddy Long, and Vickie Guerrero, in which Guerrero argued that her man, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler should challenge Sheamus to a triple threat match at No Way Out 2012. Long said the Great Khali and Intercontinental Champion Christian were also former champions and suggested there would be a 4-way elimination match for their title shot. Then featured Did You Know graphic, which reads the previous week's SmackDown was Sci-Fi's most watched regulars scheduled program for the 88th week in a row. And now, why the hell was SmackDown on the Sci-Fi anyway? I mean, SmackDown is not even science fiction. It's a wrestling show. Why in the world would they put SmackDown on a Sci-Fi channel when SmackDown is not science fiction? I mean, anyone see any aliens or Martians or in wrestling? I mean, it's a bad idea for SmackDown to be on Sci-Fi channel. Sci-Fi's most watched regularly scheduled program for the 88th week in a row, and it included a Raw 1000 segment focusing on the July 13, 2009 episode of Seth Green with comments from Green about his hosting Raw. Then featured Matt Striker conducting a backstage interview with WWE Tag Team Champion R-Truth regarding an attack he sustained 2 weeks earlier from the Big Show, with Truth saying the incident traumatized little Jimmy. After Truth talked out about how John Cena would beat Show at No Way Out 2012, Show appeared and knocked him out with a punch. Included in ad promoting the July 23rd, 2012 episode with an appearance by DX, featured a backstage segment with David Otunga and Mr. McMahon, in which Otunga praised Jalen Laryngitis' performance, but he added he could not take over if Laryngitis would be fired. Moments later, the WWE Tag Team Champion Kofi Kingston walked in, confronted Laryngitis, and said he wanted Show in a match in which Laryngitis agreeing and putting the match in a steel cage. They included an in-ring promo by Daniel Bryan, which he discussed the upcoming match in No Way Out 2012 against WWE Champion CM Punk and Kane, saying he was nothing like the other two. Bryan then said he wasn't interested in AJ, only the title. Punk soon interrupted and said he and Bryan traded wins, and they've both beaten by Kane, but he was leaving Sunday with the title. Punk then noted his promo at the top of the stage at the previous year and said that the success he saw, it was because of him only, whereas Bryan's success turned him into a goat-faced moron. Kane walked out and discussed his violent past with AJ, soon following and saying she saw heart in Kane's eyes. Punk then said, "You gotta love crazy chicks," prompting a chant of crazy chicks from the crowd. Goatface was then shown as #1 trending word on Twitter, the crowd chanting Goatface before AJ said she knew the best man will win a No Way Out 2012. Laryngitis then appeared on the big screen and said Punk and AJ would face Bryan and Kane. And this included a backstage segment with Natalya, blonde haired bitch, and McMahon, in which Natty, the blonde haired bitch, who last night I'm tired. I really hated. She attacked her own best friend, Ronda. I mean, why? No, WWE is really. I say WWE is really fucking ignorant. Really fucking ignorant to ignore the fact that Natty and Ronda are friends in real life. I mean, they never did the same thing with Triple H and Shawn Michaels in 2002 when they feuded in 2002. Last night the WWE, it was ignorant. They ignored the fact that Ronda and Natty were friends in real life. I really do hope Natty does not. I really hope that Ronda beats Natalya at Money in the Bank 2022. Because it's not all. I'm sick of her arrogance. I'm so sick of her being an egomaniac. I mean, this is 2022. I mean, she needs to go away. WWE will never let her go. Yeah, I mean, if she win, let me tell you about Natty. If she beats Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title at Money in the Bank 2022, it's gonna be 2008 all over again with her annoying ass. She needs to go away. Natty needs to go away. This is 2022, not 2008. Her voice is annoying. I mean, I mean, um, the Anvil's. I'm telling you, the Anvil's daughter is trashy and a slut. Now about Natty, let's go back to Natty, in which Natty, the bit blonde haired bitch, asked to have the entire Hart family back on TV. The man saying he would think about it. Moments later, Naomi and Cameron, the Funkadactyls, appeared and asked Vince to talk to John Laryngitis and Bros Play about being banned from Raw, with Vince eventually dancing with them, looking like dancing like an old bastard. After they walked off, Zack Ryder appeared and was speechless, with Vince saying, "Woo woo woo, whoa whoa whoa, you know it." Give me a break, old bastard. Yeah, Zack Ryder, who knows that piece of shit Matt Cardona. Then it featured a Did You Know graphic in which read WWE superstars have granted more than 5,000 wishes to Make-A-Wish in their Circle of Champions program in the past 25 years. Included a backstage segment with Hornswoggle wearing his cowboy hat, and McMahon in which McMahon gave his tips on how to make Jim Ross make a face like Jim Ross. Moments later, John Cena walked in and said laryngitis was awful. The two discussing Cena's upcoming match against the Big Show. Otunga soon followed up with McMahon telling him he has no respect for someone that will kiss his behind, and then glancing at William Regal, previously unseen at the segment, and saying no offense. Featured the announcement play based on Otunga and No Way Out pre-2012 pre-show included a "Did You Know" graphic in which read WWE was the most talked about brand on Facebook, with more fans like Nike, Pepsi, UFC, HBO, ESPN, and the NFL. Featured recent clips from the backstage fallout on WWE's YouTube channel, including a backstage segment with Bryan and Vince, in which Vince said Bryan was the epitome "You cannot judge a book by its cover," with Bryan saying that he had been fired from WWE and ended up proving Vince wrong. Bryan then said he and Vince both defied expectations were made success stories, with McMahon making fun of Bryan's 18-second loss in WrestleMania. Featured a Raw 1000 segment, which Dolph Ziggler talked about watching the first episode from January 11, 1993, which made his debut on the USA Network. They included footage of Otunga and Stephanie McMahon speaking at the YMCA in Hartford earlier in the day regarding the Be a Star program. Then featured a backstage segment with Punk and AJ regarding their upcoming tag team match, including an ad promoting ECW Volume 1. Featured the announcement of Punk and Sheamus would face Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown, including a closing in-ring segment with McMahon alongside members of security, in which he took the mic, noted lives in the state and Stephanie was born in Hartford, then implied it was time to end Laryngitis' employment. Laryngitis came out with a crutch, with McMahon saying the security guards were there to escort someone out of business as McMahon went to announce Laryngitis firing. Show walked out, took the mic, and blamed McMahon for his career being what it is. Show went on to say he will lay out McMahon's golden goose, Cena at No Way Out 2012. Cena then came out and Show was busy blaming others, but had the match and opponent he wanted there would be no excuses for Show. If he lost his steel cage, McMahon then said he will have 2 words for laryngitis. If Show lost the match moments later, a scuffle took place between Cena and Show, with security being cleared out of the ring. Show swung at Cena but struck Vince instead, with laryngitis ordering Show to leave the ring. Then World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus defeated Tenzai in a non-title match with a boot to the face at 9/21. Prior to the bout, footage was shown of Alberto Del Rio sustaining a concussion at the hands of the Great Khali, forcing ADR to give up his title shot against Sheamus at No Way Out. Moments later, John Laryngitis, People Power, walked out to the entrance stage and introduced Tensai as Sheamus' next opponent during the entrance. Tensai shoved his way past Sakamoto and on his way to the ring. Following the commercial break, Tensai attacked Sakamoto in the ring and at ringside before throwing him into the barricade. Next, Raquel Rodriguez and Beth Phoenix defeated U.S. champion Santino Marella and Divas champion Layla at 2:55 when Phoenix pinned Layla with a glam slam. After the bout, Marella ripped off Rodriguez's t-shirt to reveal him wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt underneath. Dolph Ziggler defeated Jack Swagger, Intercontinental Champion Christian, and Great Khali in an elimination match at 12:20. Christian was this was taped before he came back to made a little brief appearance at Slammiversary in Impact Wrestling. And this was Christian made little appearances. This was his appearance. This is his WWE appearance after making an appearance at Slammiversary for the 9th. And Great Khali in an elimination match at 12-20 prior to the bout, Guerrero introduced both Ziggler and Swagger from the entrance stage. Stipulations stated the winner would challenge World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus at No Way Out 2012. The three pinned Khali at 152 after Christian hit the Frog Splash. Ziggler pinned Swagger at 838 after Christian hit Swagger with a quill switch. Ziggler pinned Christian with a zigzag after Christian landed his injured ankle after the bout. Sheamus appeared on the entrance stage, held up the title belt in Ziggler's face. This was included on the Best of Raw and SmackDown 2012. Ryback pinned Fillmore and Rutherford P.S. Hayes in a handicap match after 132 after hitting the Global Samoan drop. Big Show defeated WWE Tag Team Champion Kofi Kingston in a steel cage match at 7:22 by escaping the cage after knocking Kingston out with a punch. After the match, John Laurinaitis was shown watching on backstage. Sin Cara pinned Kurt Hawkins with La Mystica at 2:29 after the match was wrestled under blue and orange lights. Earlier in the match, there were chants of "Let's go Hawkins." Vader, the late Vader, God rest his soul. It's Vader time. Mystery opponent pinned Heath Slater with the Vader bomb, and at 3:18 prior to the bout, Justin Roberts and Slater's opponent was a former Raw main eventer, and Slater taking the mic and saying it was Slater time. Slater time. Moments later, Vader's music began playing during the match. The crowd chanted, "You still got it," and Vader bomb. Vader's surprise return after a 14-year absence. It's included on Best of Raw and SmackDown 2012 and God Rest Your Soul, Leon Van White, Mr. Leon Van White, aka Vader. We miss you, and you were my favorite childhood wrestler. We all miss him dearly. WWE Champion CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Daniel Bryan and Kane at 4:58 when Punk pinned Bryan the elbow smash off the top after a kick to the head. Late in the bout, AJ was in the ring with Kane, with AJ skipping around Kane, jumping to his arms and giving him a pre-long kiss. Kane then left ringside after the bout. AJ sat down in the ring and smiled as the three-man watched her. That's how the show ended. Then there was a dark match after the show. John Cena defeated Big Show and David Otunga and People Power John Laurinaitis in a handicap match, pinning David Otunga with the FU after Show accidentally knocked out Otunga with a punch. After the bout, Cena dropped Laurinaitis with a FU. And on this day in WWE history, 7 years ago today, we lost WWE Hall of Famer, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You know how it is. We all miss him very dearly. And look how WWE and look how Vince McMahon, the old bastard, did to his son Cody right now. Now he's out of action. And and God rest his soul, Dusty Rhodes is really since we lost him 7 years ago today. Right now, Dusty is really disgusted with what Vince has done to his son by the hands of Seth Rollins. And 13 years ago today, one of the most stupidest segments in the history of WWE. 13 years ago today, the old bastard Vince McMahon died in a limo explosion. Due to Chris Benoit's actual death, he returned to WWE 2 weeks later. And in my opinion, that's got to be one of the most stupidest storylines in WWE history. And Vince never got arrested for it, for his deception, fooling everyone for faking his own death. That was the stupidest thing he would ever do. Stupidest segment that Vince McMahon has ever done. I mean, why? See, that would have been one of the most best storyline. I mean, that would have been one of the best storylines in WWE history. But who blew up Mr. McMahon? But that got killed off due to the fact that Chris Benoit's suicide and death. That would have had a whodunit like the Stone Cold hit and run incident. But Vince McMahon decided, but the old bastard Vince McMahon decided to kill the segment. I mean, the storyline. I mean, why in the world would he fake his own death and I don't know why he made that storyline in the first place. I mean, it's the same. It's also did the same thing what happened with the Jeff Hardy Sheamus hit and run storyline, and Vince McMahon decided to kill that one off when Jeff Hardy came back to AEW. I don't know why in the world would they kill that Who Done storyline with between but between Jeff Hardy and Elias, who we know is Ezekiel right now. I don't know why man Vince McMahon keep ripped it Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, People Power, John Laryngitis, and Nick Khan killed that storyline off. That's the only reasons why Jeff Hardy is now in AEW. I don't know why they killed that off. That's why WWE is a shitting. I don't know why they killed that storyline. We all know it was Sheamus who did it. Until then, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, People Power, John Laryngitis, Johnny Ace, and Nick Khan had to kill that storyline off. Stupidest. That was the stupidest things I ever seen in my life. Now let's go to some pulp culture, shall we? Now on this day, 1982. On this day, 1982. Let's see. Let's see. Let me let it load right quick. Load. On this day, 1982. Come on, come on, come on. Let it load, let it load, let it load. Come on. Let it load. Okay. Okay, hold on, load. Okay. On this day, okay, on pop culture, on this day in 1982, um, two movies were released in theaters nationwide. Two movies were released in theaters nationwide. That's one of the biggest box office movies of all time. One of the biggest box office movies of all time was released in theaters nationwide 40 years ago today. And that is one of the biggest movies that Steven Spielberg has ever made. One of the best movies that Steven Spielberg has made. And you all know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about E.T., the extraterrestrial, was released on this day in 1982, June 11th, 1982. It was released in theaters nationwide. And that was Drew Barrymore's. That was Drew Barrymore's big screen debut, big Hollywood debut. Yep, made her a big star. And another movie that was released in theaters nationwide was Grease 2, sequel to 1978's Grease. And that was Michelle Pfeiffer's feature film debut. That was a flop, but it became a cult classic, Grease 2, despite doing a flop. Yeah, it was a big year for future Hollywood stars making their big feature film debuts. It was a big debut for two Hollywood stars, Michelle Pfeiffer and Drew Barrymore. And here's a fun fact: both of them were part of both of them, Michelle Pfeiffer and Drew Barrymore, part of the Batman universe. Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman in Batman Returns, and Drew Barrymore was Sugar in Batman Forever. She played one of Tommy Lee Jones's girls. Tommy Lee Jones's she played Tommy Lee Jones's one of I think it's one of the hookers or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I know all of you agree with what I said there that Michelle Pfeiffer and Drew Barrymore, who made their feature film debuts 40 years ago, today made were part of the Batman universe. Now here's some other pop culture. On this day in 2002, one of the most greatest musical television shows premiered on this day in 2002. One of the biggest TV shows that Fox ever made is called American Idol. The birth of marked the beginning of a talent or TV talent TV talent pop singing show where it all started. That's right, American Idol debuted on this day in 2002. That's right. Oh, oh, oh. Yep, they right here on Fox. Now let's go with some sports. Some sports. Let's go to some sports. Okay. Let's go to some sports. Okay. Now, on this day in 1992, okay, all right, this is the 1992 NBA Finals. This okay, June 11th. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. No, wait. Hold on. 2000. Wait, 2002. Yeah, it's 2002. 2002. Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. I think it's 2012, right? I think, yeah, 2012. Hold on. No, wait. There's no. Sorry. Nope. There's no sports. No, there's no sports history today. Sorry. No sports today. There's no sports. Just pop culture. Just wrestling history, wrestling birthdays, and pop culture today. That's it. There's no sports today. Sorry about that. So that's my little wrestling history, my little wrestling birthdays, my pop culture for today. So that's all I'll do to you. Hope all of you know I did a good job doing this and subscribe me to the Godfather Soldiers and Lose Swimming. Hit like, make, comment on the video, and hope all of you have a good afternoon. And don't forget that tomorrow I'll be doing it again. I'll be doing the sport, wrestling history, wrestling birthdays, and pop culture and sports for Sunday, June 12th, 2022, tomorrow on YouTube. So hit like, make a comment on the video, subscribe to Godfather Soldiers and Louis Fleming, and happy 40th anniversary of Steven Spielberg's box office hit, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So I hope all of you have a good afternoon, and subscribe to the Godfather Soldiers and Louis Fleming. Hit like, make a comment video. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming, and I approve this video message. Peace, y'all, in soul. Peace. What should I say? I mean, as the late Don Cornelius used to say, I wish all of you peace, love, and soul, my brothers.